You're listening to the Traffic and Conversion Show. I'm your host, Michelle Fernandez, and today is all about tracking metrics on your funnel and why they are so important. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. I hope you're doing fabulous and really finding the joy in all you're doing. Now, today is all about tracking your funnels, but not only tracking, it's knowing what you're tracking and how to fix it. Now, it's essential to your bottom line as it enables you to identify the gaps in your funnel so you can optimize more effectively and improve your conversions. Like we all want more conversions. I mean, Avi, right? That's the reason that we're in business. Now, the benefits of tracking your funnel metrics is that you'll be able to identify the real problem. Like, how many times have you said to yourself, why isn't this thing working? I know it is so good. Why aren't people opting in or why aren't they buying? By analyzing your metrics, you can eliminate the guessing and stop beating yourself up. When you're able to identify the gap, you'll know exactly what you need to focus on. Now, tracking your funnel metrics will give you data to help you make better decisions, hence allowing you to improve your marketing strategy based on your target market's needs and behaviors. Here's the thing, aligning sales and marketing is necessary for business growth. Your business's success strongly depends on how sales and marketing work together. Right? So keeping an eye on the important metrics lets you understand how your marketing strategies effectively move the leads to become sales. Then you will then be able to develop more successful and cost-effective strategies. Make sense? All right. Let's get into the most important funnel metrics. And yes, I totally nerd out on this stuff. When I do funnel audits, my clients, they're like, thank goodness. Thank goodness you're so into this because I'm not, right? Sometimes for some people, the numbers and all these things, it's just too much and it's overwhelming. But as always, I got your back, all right? So the first metric is how many people are coming into your funnel. So the question that I have for you is, what is the starting point of your funnel? Is it when someone clicks on an ad? Is it when someone comes to your website, right? What is it for you? No one is going to be able to go to the next step of your funnel if they're not even getting into the funnel in the first place. Make sense? The next metric to track is of those who came into your funnel, how many became a lead, right? That would be the next thing that you want to measure. And if you really want to dial in, you can measure which are actually marketing qualified or sales qualified, meaning is the lead likely to buy or is the lead ready to buy? Then you want to calculate the conversion rate. So if it's a lead, you want to know how many people came into your funnel and actually became a lead. Meaning, did they see your landing page and did they actually enter their information to become a lead, right? So this is how you calculate it. You take the number of leads and divide it by the number of link clicks. And then you'll be able to get your landing page conversion. And then you take, and then you'll get like a percentage, right? And you want that percentage to be at least 25. I like to shoot for 30 or higher. So here's an example of how to do the calculation. Let's say I have 25 leads and then I have 100 clicks. You input 25 into the calculator and you divide by 100 and you get 0.25. Then you move the decimal point over 2 spots and you get 25%. Now I'm breaking this down for you because because sometimes I get confused when I enter things into the calculator. I'm like, wait, which number do I enter first? And being in the mortgage business for 30 years, the mortgage calculator that we used, everything was backwards. So I'm constantly having to remind myself. So I just wanted to share that with you in case sometimes you get confused too. All right, so the same thing with sales. Take the number of sales divided by the number of link clicks or leads, and you'll get that sales conversion. Now, the benchmark for sales conversions vary depending on what you're doing. Like if you're doing a self-liquidating offer, so it's like a low ticket item, that's a sale, or a live webinar, or a live event, or an on-demand webinar or challenge, right? So you want to think about anytime that you have you're live, you're actually with the people, you're interacting, you're going to always have a higher sales conversion than when it's automated, right? So when it's on demand or it's pre-recorded or something like that, you're going to have a lower because you're not making that connection. Okay. That's just the way it goes. And that's the standard, but we're always shooting for higher and higher, which is then why we're trying to identify and tracking the numbers so we can figure out how we can increase, even if it's 1% at a time. So if you had 50 sales and 500 people sign up for, let's say, your challenge, your sales conversion would be 10%. Now that you know how many people are going into your funnel, right? And how many people are becoming leads or sales, you want to know, track, and measure what it's costing you to get that lead or to acquire a customer, right? So to calculate the cost per lead, you simply take the marketing cost, so let's say your ad spend, and divide it by the number of leads. Now, this is a great reason to have separate funnel steps so you know exactly what your marketing dollars are bringing in. Now, to calculate the cost to acquire a customer, you take the total amount of money spent, so let's say your ad spend, divide it by the number of acquired customers, right? So by knowing these numbers will allow your efforts to be focused on increasing your revenue. And you do not want to do that, right? Like you do not want to not know that, right? Now, let me just show you some things that you need to know, okay? Number one is your average cart value, sometimes referred to as average order value. Now, this metric shows you the amount of money one customer spends per order. This is exactly what you need to know when you have a funnel with multiple offers, like a tripwire or a bump or an upsell, or maybe even a downsell, right? So all your self-liquidating offers are for sure, you're going to want to see what that average cart value. If you sell products, for example, you want to know like, hey, how many things are they putting in their shopping cart? Okay. The whole idea is to measure and modify in order to increase your average cart value. The second number is the customer lifetime value. And this is the total revenue earned from one particular customer throughout their entire relationship with you. So are you tracking if they got a low ticket offer? Then maybe they got like your $497 offer. Then maybe they did some private coaching with you and then some group coaching or mastermind, okay? So think about your ascension model and any other add-on services that you provide, and how are you tracking those customers to know how long someone stays with you and buys from you? I know for me, I've stayed with coaches for multiple years. So even though I got to their top of that ascension model, I continue to buy from them year after year at their top tier. So think about that. I wasn't even coming in at their $47. I was coming in at their $20,000 year after year. Okay. So this is what we're measuring. So if you're just starting out with business or you've just been in business for a year, you may not have long enough time to be able to measure. However, you need to start right now and start documenting who you have coming in. If it's not too much for you to go back and kind of figure this out, and if you're doing a really good job in your automations inside your CRM by tagging everybody, right? So consider tagging them not only for the program, but tagging them as a buyer, right? So you can segment people by buyers, by programs, and things like that. And then you can kind of see as the people come up. In your project management board, Monday, ClickUp, whatever you're using, have some sort of a members area in there where you can then track what these people are. So there's all kinds of ways that you can set this up and do it, okay? All right, next up is the duration of time during the sales process. So do you know the time frame when someone actually becomes a lead to when they become a buyer? Knowing this time frame is critical to creating predictable growth in your business, and more importantly, predictable profit. Because once you know this time frame, you can actually predict the revenue that will be coming in, and then you can strategize on ways to shorten that time frame to get sales faster. And more importantly, get the lead, their transformation, or that result that you promised, that problem that you solve, get it done faster. All right, lastly, do you know where people are dropping off? This is when visitors leave the funnel in the conversion process without finalizing their conversion, right? So, and I say conversion because that's a lead or a sale, okay? Basically, they abandon cart. So knowing this will enable you to take the appropriate actions to reduce drop-offs and increase conversions. Now, if you have a two-step order form, then you'll be able to capture the lead because they're entering their contact information on step one. And if they click over to step two, but then they don't enter their payment information, you can go back to them and reach out to them to complete the payment information or that order form, right? You should have in mind that the funnel drop-off rate is not going to help you make the proper change by itself. In order to solve the problem that's causing the visitors to lead, you need some sort of like tool, right? So Google Analytics is one. There's all kinds of other tools out there too, but the whole idea is that you can see the journey that your users are going through to identify the reasons for abandonment, right? And these tools are super easy. You just embed some sort of tracking tool within your website on your landing pages and things like that. And then what this tool does, I've seen a couple of them and it's pretty cool. And even Google Analytics, if you're like, yeah, I don't have the resources right now to invest in something. And I don't even think these tools are that expensive. However, you can actually see the customer's behavior when they land on your website, let's say, right? When they land on certain pages. So you'll actually see, okay, well, when they got to my website, I sent them to this page, let's say the podcast page, but then they went to the about section. Then they went to the work with me section. Like, where are they going and how can you minimize some of that traffic? Where are they stopping on the page? Let's say it's your sales page. Where are they scrolling or how far are they scrolling through the page? And then where are they bouncing off, right? These are all critical tools that you should have if you really want to get super crazy serious, right? And if you're really looking to increase your conversions, because then you could say, okay, wait a minute, maybe I need to modify the copy here a little bit so I can either get them to make a decision before they even scroll down. Are they scrolling too far? Are they getting all the way to the bottom of my sales page and still not buying? That means to tell me that something on the messaging is not compelling enough for them to make that buying decision. All right, you see where I'm going with this? There's all kinds of cool things that you too can nerd out on and really explore what's the reason, right? It's taking the drama out by using the data. Make sense? All right. If you need help with any of this, or would like me to go in and do a funnel audit, like really diving into your metrics and give you recommendations of ways to increase your conversions on your funnel, I'm talking like full review of your ads, your landing pages, your webinar itself, your challenge, your emails, all that stuff inside one particular funnel, send me a DM and I'll drop the application in the show notes, okay? All right, I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Cheers to measuring and tracking your funnels to get those higher conversions. Until next time, let's grow your business together.